time I look online, TikTok, sit your butt down and focus on this game.
Welcome everybody to Spikes and Heels, our first playoff episode of this season. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Gwen.
And we are once again happy to be with you. There's some things that didn't go like we thought they would go, but that's all right. We thought, but we didn't think. So anyway, we'll get to the Washington team later, but we're going to start off with the upsets, the two upset games of this weekend. There were 6 total playoff games. 2 of them were upsets, one of which I was happy with.
Now,
yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so let's start off with one of the games that did not go like we thought, the Rams and the Seahawks. That was a surprise. We did not see that coming. We both picked the Seahawks in that game. But go ahead, Gwen, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I need to cut you off. Go ahead.
I mean, it just goes to show that, when you're both in the same division with one another, you know one another. So kind of like those rankings kind of go out the window a little bit. But anyway, what happened?
This is what happened. All them TikTok videos did not tell you that they was boo loving too much. This dude ain't been focused. I get it, and I'm not. Please don't tell me or say nothing, but just hear my thought out to fruition. Okay. I'm a lovable person. Can you attest to that, Sabrina?
I can attest to that.
I'm a lovable person. I like everything, but football I just don't play with. Remember that year Tony Turnover was dating Jessica Simpson?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Tony Romo was dating Jessica Simpson. Man, everybody put it on her. That he was so into her that he wasn't paying attention. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't focusing. I feel like that happens when these celebrities get together because they have to put up a high presence for, you know what I'm saying, the other person. Like if the girlfriend is in showbiz and you in football, they tend to flow that way with the girlfriend and I'm going to help you build your brand because I'm already set my $140 million. So
can I say this? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Please.
Go, because I can talk, go.
I feel like Russell's play don't have nothing to do with Sierra. And number 2, Sierra ain't need her brand built up because she already had it built up.
But she got to keep it going, Sabrina. You
she
don't
keep
need
it going by herself.
TikTok. Every time I look online, TikTok, sit your butt down and focus on this game. I get it. She was a woman. I love me some Sierra. I like Sierra over all of them. She's positive. She don't do no freakiness and all that other stuff. But I feel like it was just too much about them this year on social media. And you right, she don't have nothing to do with his game, but he might not have been focused, Sabrina. My boy was supposed to win the ship. They done paid this dude all this money, and he is a flat bust this year. Come on.
Something was going on, but I don't think it had nothing to do with it.
Okay, he in bliss. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want that one day. Everybody wants that. I get it. But I think turn it off during September to January. Turn it off. Turn it down just a little bit. You can dial it down. I just feel every time I looked online, they walking the baby. They walking the dogs. They dancing. They eating. Look at Win. Look at Little Future. Look at the Seahawks. Right. I just love me some Russell, and I want him to win one more time because they stole his second ring from him with that bogus call. He should be a 2-time Super Bowl winner already. And I feel like he's just distracted. You right, she already got her brand. I get it. But Sabrina, I just feel like he wasn't focused this year. And I could be wrong.
That's
him. I get it. It's 11 people on the field. I get it. But if the captain ain't right, you could have called the Seahawks the Titanic this year. They was going down by the head.
And let's put it like this. Russell ain't calling the plays. It's Carroll is calling the plays.
Russell got to execute.
They call some terrible plays. Let me make sure this thing is on.
Execute, Sabrina. He got to execute. You got to be a little bit more focused. He wasn't focused enough. The Rams totally had their number. Totally. Because you said it right before. They're in the same division, so they play each other twice. And by, like you said, by them being 3-6, we thought, okay, the Seahawks definitely going to take this one because they know each other, but it flipped on Russell. He wasn't prepared. The defense was non-existent in the first half. They don't have the Legion of Boom no more, but they still got a few pieces, you know. It was just not a good look. So he gets the reset, you know, because they done gave that dude $140 million. So it's like,
yeah, and so it sounds to me like you blaming this loss purely on Russell. That was a whole team loss.
I get it, but I need the captain to be the captain. I don't think he was focused enough. That's all I'm going to say. And you're right, because I hate when people do that to Lamar, so I have to be fair. This is a team collaboration, but the captain needs to be on point.
Okay. Yeah. But I don't think
he wasn't catching the ball. He wasn't throwing the ball. His trajectories was off. The same problem we said before. He held the ball too long. Defense was not. This was a total fiasco for me for the Seahawks. And this done messed up my whole bracket.
Yeah, because I had
to the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Yeah, we both said the Seahawks would be the NFC representatives. So now, I mean, at this point now, who do you think? Is it going to be the Packers or?
Definitely.
I would be so mad if Brady got in, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, God.
I know.
So, and you have to give it to the Rams. You have to give it to Sean. One of the Redskins' many fiascos. They let this extremely talented young coach lead. But I'm looking forward to the future.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? So you have to take hats off to Sean. They deserved it. They outplayed them.
They absolutely did.
They outplayed them when they needed to outplay them. Who cares if they lost? Basically, so who cares what they did in the regular season? Because now in the playoffs, they did what they were supposed to do. They got a victory on their division rivals. Now they're moving on.
Yep, and that is a perfect segue into the other upset because the Browns, my heartstrings team, I didn't think they could do this.
They did it.
I did not pick them. But they did it. They beat the Steelers, and they didn't just beat them. They, what you call it, a monkey
stomp,
a monkey stomp, a gorilla stomp. One of them.
In that way, they let the Steelers come back though. Okay. But I ain't gonna lie. When that game went to 21-0, then 20, I was done. I said flick because something in my heart won't allow me to watch the Steelers go down like that. I just automatically imagine the score was at the rate that game was going. They scored 28 points. In the first quarter. That is unheard of in the playoffs.
Yep, they said that's the most points ever scored in the first quarter by the visiting team. That's right.
So it was a record?
It was.
See what I'm saying? I knew that. That's unheard of to score that many because the playoff is the elite of the elite. Usually you don't see monkey stomps. You know what I'm saying? You see really good competitive games. But
and I'm kind of glad because I love our boy Juju. He's so talented, and he seems like a cool.
Another one.
But this year,
it's all about their brands now. Sabrina is blowing me.
Yeah, every week,
no more.
Every week he making
on the middle thing on every how you say in your previous videos, sit your butt down.
Sit down. Yeah, sit down. Yeah, he's been dancing on people's logos and making TikToks. And then what blew me, why I was kind of glad that the Steelers lost, I'm going to be honest. Juju got in the media this week and people was asking him, like, you know, how do you feel about having to play the Browns a third time this season? And his comments were basically like, they still the Browns, and he basically used the words, they are nameless, faceless players. Like they're nobody. They're still the Browns. They're the same team we always play, so we good. I'm so glad.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Go look at it. I'm so happy.
Man.
See, stuff like that, I love you.
He done loaded. Stop loading, battle. Get on.
And when we finish this, I'm gonna go online to see if he has issued any statements after the game because I didn't see that part.
He dancing every little step around he might be. We're gonna call him Bobby Brown this morning because he dancing every little step around his living room. How about that? Man, you know, it's like these youngsters is fearless. I get it. I like them. You know what I'm saying? But put some respect on that thing just a little bit.
Yeah, there's a way and a time. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you don't give the other team bulletin board material. You don't do that. There's a way to celebrate and dance and have fun without it being disrespectful. He crossed that line a couple weeks ago. So I'm just happy that he hopefully learned his lesson. Keep your mouth shut. Do your job. But he did play. He showed up, but he didn't get the numbers that he would normally get, and he lost. His team lost. They look off kilter. They look out of sync. I was so
off kilter, out of sync are understatements. They look terrible.
They did.
It's time for Ben to retire. I know what he was doing. He wanted that one last ring.
Yeah.
Everybody always wants one more. Him, Rivers, all of them. Breeze. I'm even putting Breeze on that list. Not on the retire this year, but Brady and Breeze gonna be done in the next 2 or 3 years. I just think it's time. You know, you accomplished something that only 5% of players now can say. They have a Super Bowl championship. It's time for you to pass to him or pass that hat to the next one and just sell off. At least you can walk off the field rich, in your right mind, physically capable of doing more stuff with your life. All of these people that we mentioned are going to be Hall of Famers one day. But let's just, I think it's time to put a cap on that thing. I think this should be Ben's last year.
Well, and that's a really good topic that you just raised, because it's a lot of quarterbacks that we're so used to seeing that are probably at the end of their career. I hadn't thought about that. You got Brady, you got Breeze, you got Packers, Aaron Rodgers. It's a lot.
That's my man right there. But this is why Lamar and Mahomes are winners, because they are new, fresh, and they're younger. They're faster, they're more mobile, and it's showing up now, So between one of them, okay, a vet gonna be on the NFC because that's all we have is vets. But that AFC, they have a couple of youngins that's gonna take over. Look at Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? It's time to pass the what you call it,
pass the torch.
That's it, pass the torch. I really, I'm not putting nobody out there like that, but I think it's time. But those are the two upsets I didn't see coming.
And correct me if I'm wrong, weren't some of the Browns players in COVID protocols?
And the coach.
Oh, the coach too?
The coach is on COVID, yes.
Wait, so the coach wasn't on the sideline?
No, he's...
Shut your mouth.
I promise you.
Sabrina,
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see the opening. But all the reports up to that was they were going to be without him because he either has COVID or he's on COVID quarantine.
This makes it even the more amazing to me. The Steelers deserve that loss. I'm sorry. And we know a lot of people that like them, but
Sabrina, I didn't really see them as an undefeated team, number one, and I knew they had a couple of pieces missing. They were a good team, better than us. Look at the records, but Super Bowl bound team, undefeated team. That's why neither one of us picked them. Let's keep it real, because we
picked them to win this game, but not
the whole thing.
Wait, I think I might have said the Steelers. I think
back in the day you were kind of leaning to them when they were 7-0.
But I never changed it. I think so. Both of mine are out. I said the Seahawks and the Steelers. Man, I ain't got a leg to stand on with that. I'm done.
They were looking unstoppable. But then when I started watching the games, like once you brought it to my attention that they were 6-0, I was like, let me start watching these games. Then when I started watching, I was like, nah. They getting back. 1 touchdown, 3 points, 2 points. Those are not solid victories in my opinion.
Right.
A win is a win, don't get me wrong, but that was luck, a missed pass. That was good. So there you have it. Those are the two ups. It's always one. We called it, and it was one on each side, but we called it, but we called the wrong one.
We did.
It's always one. The one thing I love about Spicy Hills, because Sabrina and I don't talk during the week. So all the reactions and conversations we have are candid. We say what we're going to discuss, but we don't go in detail what we're going to discuss. Right. Somebody commented, "Oh, your reaction is so strong for you. You're overacting." No, that's just me. Sabrina and I, we discuss topics before we start taping, but the content is not discussed.
Okay.
So this is going to be a candid moment because Sabrina's about to do something she didn't want me to tell me about. So here we go.
So I figured the viewers don't know much about us. They know a little bit. So I want to do a 60-second rapid fire question session with you. And you have to answer as many of these questions as you can.
Honestly?
Honestly.
Okay.
Here we go. So we about to learn about Gwen's life, and maybe I'll go next week. We gonna see.
Yeah, you gonna have to. You gotta go because you put me up. You put me on. I've gotta.
All right. So where's my timer? I don't even know where my timer is.
I'm gonna give you a time.
Yeah, you set the timer. All right.
This phone. Look, I learned how to put the phone on mute. It's been ringing, but you haven't been hearing it, have you?
Yeah.
I learned how to put it on mute.
What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Blue. What is one of your weird quirks?
I fidget with my hair.
Okay. What would you do with your 15 minutes of fame?
Take care of a lot of disadvantaged people.
Can you dance?
Like Fred Astaire's partner, Ginger Rogers.
Oh gosh. What would you name your yacht?
Girl, the Mission.
The Mission?
The Mission.
Oh, who spelled who?
MISSION. You heard me.
Oh, Mission. Okay. All right. What TV sitcom family would you like to be a member of?
Yeah, you know this one. Fred and Lamont.
Oh gosh, Sanford and Son, right. What is the first thing you notice about someone of the opposite sex?
Their smile.
Smile. That's nice. What is your favorite
last question? Go ahead.
What is your favorite pet's name?
Deanwood.
Deanwood. Oh, okay. What is your best feature?
My personality.
A
minute is up 20 seconds ago.
Oh shoot, really?
But that was good questions. Thank you, Danny.
Hey. Okay.
So he did it. He did it. They did it. That's the one thing I love about Lamar. He was so quick to give the team the credit. And even when, what's her name? I don't know. I got to think of her name. The reporter tried to put it back on him.
Oh, like, I saw that interview. Yeah.
It went straight back on. We did it together. And that was just, sorry, everybody. The Ravens defeated the Titans.
I was going to say, who are you talking about?
The Ravens defeated the Titans, so we move on. But last year, they had Lamar going to the ship. And the Titans took them out in the first round, unexpected upset of the whole playoffs last year. Was the Titans taking them out in the first round. So they get past them this time. Yeah. And I think this time, the difference from this year and last year was because Lamar was a one-man wrecking crew last year. This time they did it together. The defense held Henry to 40 yards. Can you believe that?
And we were talking about Henry last week. Like they better make sure they
can. Didn't I call they better put a steel iron curtain up to stop that Bama? The defense stepped up. What they known to have, all their Super Bowl victories, correct me if I'm wrong, Sabrina, have been on strong defense players like
for the Ravens.
Man, Ed. All of them.
Suggs, Terrell Suggs.
All of them. It was straight defense. Like Flacco was going to do what he was going to do, but Ray and the boys was going to come through.
Yeah.
And I think they showed that they held Henry to 40 yards. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, especially the season that he's had, breaking 2,000 yards. Yeah. So your team, it's funny, both of our heartstrings teams have made it through. So the Browns and the Ravens. I'm a little concerned about the Browns. They play somebody next week where I was like, oh, that ain't good. It's
got to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think
they play the lowest seed.
Oh,
the number one seed plays the lowest seed.
Oh boy, I remember whoever it was, I was like, oh, that don't look too good.
Yeah,
but
it got to be the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because the Bills got to play the Ravens.
Oh my gosh! So that's the Ravens and Titans game. It ended the way Gwen wanted it to. We both picked the Titans in that game, but we are not unhappy with the results.
Because they took them out so fast. And you had Henry rushing over 2,000 yards. You had, what's the dude that was catching? I mean, they had so many weapons. They just looked like they were heading that way again. But gratefully, my Ravens, the defense, they worked together as a team and they won.
Yes.
So now they have to face the Bills, which is going to be a hard game in itself.
I think that's going to be a hard-fought game. That's going to be a slugfest to me.
Exactly.
I'm excited.
Because Diggs is catching everything but a cold. and COVID. You know what I'm saying? He catching everything but a cold and COVID right now.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we'll see. Lamar gonna have to put on his really fast cleats this week.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Exactly. So, ladies and gents, in the last game that we called but didn't want to call, but we called it right, our Washington football team lost to the Bucks. There were a lot of good points from this game, though, Sabrina. Let's keep it real. I didn't have us going to the ship. I had us getting past the Bucks, though. I have to be honest. But I saw a lot of potential.
Yeah.
This pack could be a starter next year on somebody's team.
Let me tell you about Six Pack. Six Pack made a believer out of me. I remember you were calling for him. You were saying, like, I think he should start over Alex. I was like, no, I don't know how he'd do. First of all, I like that he doesn't play scared, even though he's not, a proven veteran or anything. He does not play scared. He plays with a certain confidence level. He was accurate with his passes. His receivers were the ones dropping the passes. It wasn't him.
Was it a hot potato? I'm like, is they doing a skate gate? What's that thing? A deflate gate? Were they doing a hot gate on us? Because the ball seemed hot.
No.
Every time he threw it, Sims was dropping it.
It wasn't no deflate gate. They were just dropping it. Man, let me tell you something. His balls were on the money when he was throwing them balls.
Did you see him duck underneath of the defender? I say, oh, so when he ducked underneath a dude and then still made the pass, man.
And then
he diving, touchdown, his body was stretched out. Like
he was straight like an arrow like this. Yes. So
that's what I'm talking about.
And when you have Patrick Mahomes tweeting about you, like he was basically saying, like, it doesn't matter the outcome, he can play. That's your sign. He should at least be able to compete for the position. They better not do nothing stupid and let him get away.
Sabrina, now
don't let that man get away.
Here it comes. You don't call it. Watch this.
They better not.
Here it comes. Watch this.
They better not let that man get away.
The last couple of quarterbacks we have been total busts. Keep it real. I can go as far as Jason Campbell.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Then we get McNabb when he on the Sugar Hill, the old man Sugar Hill game. You know what I'm saying? Then here comes RG3. I saw a lot of potential. I almost gave Dan Snyder owner of the decade for that call, but look what happened. Then we get Haskins. Wouldn't it be in the best interest of thinking people to say, let's give this dude who ain't even really did much, he really went to Old Dominion, opportunity. Like that. This could be our diamond in the rough. This could be.
I like him. I'm sure. I
like him a lot.
Only one full game, but that fourth quarter that he played in this game, it was consistent. It was consistent. If we could just get him in there and get him one more receiver and just get that line more confident, my gosh, we're gonna. I would call it. Let's call it here and now. Let's do this.
We already called it a couple shows ago. We're going to the Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, you went further than I was about to.
Oh, yes. I called it a couple of shows ago because I see the defense is stout if they keep the pieces there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sweat and Chase, done. That's our new version of Dexter and Charles.
Yeah.
The two Bama boys in the middle, they're going to have to pay to keep that line together. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to fuck it out.
And where I was going with it, you went further than I was ready to go. What I was going to say is we're definitely winning the division next year. That's going to happen. That's going to happen because Dak is going to be rebuilding. Our biggest threat to me is going to be the Giants. It's going to this is the order. This is going to be the order. It's going to be Washington, New York, Dallas, and Philadelphia next year. That's going to me. That's the order. Sitting here today.
I'm a little nervous because I think with some time, Hurt can outplay Jones.
I forgot about the Hurts factor.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. I think the Eagles would be more into it than we think. We just look at it now because they did that scuttlebutt thing. But
we stop calling that man scuttlebutt.
But I'm terrible with names, meaning Sutterfield, what they call him, Suddy.
I don't know.
But they put Suddy in the game. But the Eagles gonna be more. They may not be in last place.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, good point.
We'll see. Yeah,
good point.
Because it hurts, but man, Six Pack was on it. I was like, Come on, it only would make sense to get this dude the opportunity. You don't waste it $100 million on your last couple of quarterback choices. How about you settle on a dude that's playing and producing?
Yes,
how about that? I don't care what school he came from.
And he'll be cheaper.
He could be out Tom Brady. And for those who don't know, they got Tom. It's unheard of to get a 6-time Super Bowl winner out of the 6th round
of the draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This could be out. He was undrafted. This could be out diamond in the rough. We just need somebody that's competent, that's gonna put their heart in it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else.
And all the players after the game were basically like, on social media, like saying he can play. He's our guy. All the Redskins player, the Washington player, was saying like we like him. Basically, is what they were saying.
When he stretched his body out like to get that 6 points. So
yeah, that was it.
So,
and he was about to be sacked on that play too. He was elusive. I like him. I like him.
Wait a minute, this dude can play.
Mm-hmm.
Why we? And let's just be honest. Let's get the subject and digress for a minute. My hat and my heart goes out to Alex Smith, because if anybody haven't had the comeback story of the decade, it's been him.
Mm-hmm.
But those who haven't seen it, please look up the 30-30 document on Alex Smith about all that he went through since he broke his leg. And then you will have even a bigger compassion and love for this dude. But I don't think his leg is going to hold up. I've been calling this Sabrina for weeks when they were trying to say, no, it was the other leg. Nothing but, with the high silly and natty toe silly, nothing but death could keep me from it.
Right.
I felt like that's how Alex was with playing. You know what I'm saying? Because think about the sum of his career when he gets to the playoff. He has never been able to get past the hump. He got the 49ers there, and then they switched him out for Kaepernick. Then he went to the Chiefs and took the Chiefs to the playoffs. He couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Then they switched him out from Mahomes, and both times they switched them out, the team went to the Super Bowl after they did it. And actually now the Chiefs won last year. So you know there got to be some kind of little.
I was going to say, that's probably in the back of his mind. Is it me? Like, was it me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to him, and the effort he put in was 1,000%. I wish my kids would have that effort with their grades. You know what I'm saying? But I digress again. But I'm full hats off to him. Kudos, all the good. But I think he needs to sit down.
And he said, I saw an article last night. They said that he's going to take the next couple of weeks to make a decision about whether he's coming back. And that basically probably means he has to talk to his wife and all of that. But even if he can, is he going to win that starting position? This reminds me, you just mentioned it. You mentioned this could be our Tom Brady with six-pack. This reminds me of when Bledsoe went out and then Brady came in, and then people were like, oh gosh, but this is a totally
ain't look back since.
Ain't look back since.
But you have to look at your experience and the opportunity. You were able to do something that 99.8% of the world, you know what I mean? You were able to be a national football, a starter, play in a National Football League, rich and famous off of it. I say it's time to set it down. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. And there's a rumor not a rumor. There is a story out there about Deshaun Watson is going to be a free agent, and people are like, what do we got him? I don't think he'd answer. No. I don't want Deshaun.
Leave six back right where he at. And that's what I'm talking about, Sabrina. I'm getting them flutter bunnies in my stomach because they about to do something stupid.
Right.
You have to see the future the same. I'm sorry from yelling. You have to see the future the same way you didn't see it when you let Sean and you let Kyle go. You know what I'm saying? You have to see
what's in front of you. And they could get they could get six-pack probably for a reasonable price right now.
Reasonable.
And then pay him later. You know what I'm saying? We can use that money on all the other pieces.
On that line. Get some tackling dummies or some blocking dummies or something.
I don't think it's the line. I think it's I don't think it's the line.
Sabrina, when you about to bump heads for the first time on Spikes and Heels. Sabrina, call it what it is, Sabrina. They are terrible. They have one good player.
Oh.
They are terrible.
No, they're not.
All right, that's it. She done called the beast out. I'm going to find me footage, and I'm going to show you the difference between a good line and a bad line.
Okay, wait. What I'm saying is this. I'm not saying they're the best line. I'm saying they're not terrible.
Sabrina, Okay. Oh, ooh, fair.
Okay.
Let's do the negative words. When you rating something on the scale, what's it? Highly, this is, fair, bad, the worst. They are what in those three? Bad.
No, they're not bad.
Sabrina!
No,
Don't
our
they-
line is
okay.
not bad, and I'm not saying that because I'm a fan.
You,
Our
Sabrina?
line is fair. They're fair, and I think they could get better for sure. But I don't think that
They don't have no other choice but to get better. They 2 steps from worse. Sabrina.
I don't see our line as bad.
We're gonna watch some footage. I'm taking you.
I mean, I'm sure there are plays where the line has failed. I can think of some. It's just I don't categorize them overall as terrible. I don't.
Okay, amen.
They ain't great, but they ain't terrible.
They are the pits. They got one player, maybe 1.5 with most, but most of the sacks done came on that right side. Nah.
Okay, let's turn it to a positive. We got news this week that Brandon Sheriff, of course, we knew he got selected to the Pro Bowl, but we also got news that he was selected All Pro, which was the first time in his career. So we want to say something positive about the line.
How you and this dude?
I'm just reporting the news of the man that he got the All Pro designation.
Okay, amen.
Okay. Oh, and our boy Chase, he got 2 awards for the month of December. He got Rookie Defensive Player of the Month and Rookie something else of the month. He got 2 awards.
Got Defensive Player of the Week and Rookie Defensive Player of the Month.
Yeah. So
something like that.
Chase is continuing to rack up the award.
I watched some film, which I'm doing now. I'm gonna be a coach someday on somebody's team. But I'm talking about like Pop 1 or something like that. But Chase is successful because Sweat is pushing people his way. So it's both of them. So I got to give Sweat a little bit of them accolades that do to Chase, because it had not been for Sweat hard pressing, Sweat tends to be a little bit ahead and Chase just bring it up. They both to me are phenoms. Chase is definitely the Rookie of the Year. Maybe even I'll give him top 5 of Defensive Player of the Year. That's how much I like Chase. Yeah. But Sweat name got to be up in there too sometimes.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. Because a lot of the times Chase gets the big play recognition because Sweat started it.
Yes, he pushed him that way. If you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy?
A McDonald's McMuffin sandwich because I'm hungry.
What is one thing you would put on your bucket list?
Travel more.
Who is your favorite superhero and why?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we know that. Who do you admire the most?
My husband's a cool dude. I like him.
What is your favorite summer activity?
Having cookouts.
If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be? And would you play you?
It would be some sort of inspirational something, and Sanaa Lathan would play me because I don't know nobody that look like me, so I just pick her. She would do a good job.
Who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
I don't have one.
What is your dream job?
Inspirational speaker.
Are you a morning or night person?
Night. Time's up.
That's pretty the worst morning person.
We have to talk about this. This almost literally made me cry, not as a figure of speech, like almost tears. I was online after the game last night, and they showed a clip of Ryan Kerrigan walking the field by himself after the game. Nobody was there, of course. And of course, they're saying this could be his last game ever in Washington because he feels like he may want to move on and whatever. And he was just walking around looking. And then as he was getting ready to go into the tunnel, he was just waving to the crew and the workers. And I'm like, there's no fans there. There's nobody there to send him off. There's no, he's given this city his whole career. He's on the field, off the field. He's been a model player. You ain't never heard nothing about the man. He volunteers. He's given everything. And then he just leaves so unceremoniously, you know, and that almost made me cry a little bit. I had to like get the lump out my throat. I felt some kind of way about that. Oh, you don't feel that? You don't understand how touching that is? You are really getting me this morning. I got to check you. You don't understand that? It's what?
I get it. He was stuck in the bad years and he did all of that. He went out because he wanted to play. I get it. I wish the fans had been there to salute him because I was a Ryan Kerrigan fan back in the day. I'm just so focused on the future now. I'm thinking, get on my ship or get gone. He gone because he did that walk. That was his telling you I'm leaving.
And that's what everybody was.
Who does that? Yeah. Who does that unless you're done? You know, he's gone. And maybe the coaches, some people can't handle coming off the bench. Who did that NBA player couldn't stand? Carmelo can't handle coming off the bench, even though he's never gotten a championship. Sometimes you have to be the sixth man. Or in Kerrigan's defense, sometimes he has to be the 12th man on the defense because Montez and Chase are younger and they kind of outplaying him.
I just wish and hope, and I don't think it's going to happen this way. I just wish there was a way he could set his own pride aside and just find a way to stay. Because I'm sure they want to keep him.
Definitely.
If he could set that stuff aside, we finally have the ability to go all the way. You don't want to miss that. It would be so sad if we finally went and he could have been a part.
Yeah,
he's not there.
The year before. Or 2 years before. I'm telling you, Sabrina, I had an epiphany a couple of weeks ago. I'm watching this defense. I'm looking at the holes and I'm thinking, we about to go. You need a stout, sound defense, and we have that. Couple of weak points on that secondary, but
I was about to say that second. Well, you talking about the offensive line? It's terrible. No, if I had to give a terrible designation, it's them safeties.
No, I call that. Call it what it is. Call it cat. Them safeties terrible. I don't know what they doing. I thought they would have got better because they took Apke out, whatever dude name is. They put him bad for worse. Yeah, you're right. But you hats off to Todd Bowles and being the defensive coach of the Bucks. Mm-hmm. He seems to have them up and running. They're not getting past the Packers, but we'll see. They have to pay, so. Well,
I don't know. We're going to call the games in a minute.
Once we talk about this other one, but
yeah. So let's just quickly talk about these last two games because they went as they obviously should have.
Got it.
One was the Saints and the Bears. We called that last week. The Bears just didn't stand a chance, and they played accordingly.
He's going up against a legend, Mr. Accurate. It was just not going to happen.
Yeah, so congratulations to Selena and the Saints and Who Dat Nation. Yes, they are going to the next round, and as we figured they would. And then also the Bills beat the Colts. I'm happy for the Bills too. It's been a long time for them. And they are
getting the Patriots out the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are the top dogs in their conference. So
yeah, they are. And at first that game against the Colts, it was going a little iffy. I'm like, Bills, what you going to do?
Because Rivers is trying to test it. Does him, Andy Dalton, and Aaron Rodgers were my Super Bowl quarterback trio on my fantasy team.
Do you know what though?
What?
Rivers, I have never been a Phillip Rivers fan ever. Not the person. I don't know that man. I'm talking about playing. Never. To me, he racks up a lot of big yardage stats, but he never wins when it
comes. They ain't never had no defense to bring it.
I don't care. I'm not a Phillip Rivers fan. I never have been.
Okay, but he another one may need to set it down. It's time to pass the torch.
It's so many of these long-standing quarterbacks that will be going out soon.
Remember that 1 year they got all of them quarterbacks out of the same round. Wasn't he in on that? It was 1 year they got all these people that still.
It was, and I don't remember who they all were. And he was
Brady, Rivers. Okay, they switched Rivers out for Eli. Because remember, Eli was supposed to go to San Diego, and Rivers was supposed to go to the Giants, and they switched them because the father didn't want him and
to have to play each other.
Same conference.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that year. It was a lot of quarterbacks that came out of that year, whatever year that was. 2000, 2001.
It's going to be a lot of turnover within these
It
next
needs to
5 years.
happen. This
Yep.
is why the NFC, I'm going to be honest, it's not going to win the Super Bowl. Their best chance is maybe with Breeze or discount double check. That's their best chance because these young guys in the AFC is going to take it. They are. They just more mobile. They just younger, faster. They have more targets. How you going to handle Kelsey? That's all I'm going to say.
Gosh. Yeah, he's a handful to handle.
By himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you got Mahomes back there running around like his feet on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And isn't Tyreek Hill on that team too?
Yes. Yeah. Done. Yeah. So great week of football. But let's call it, Sabrina. Let's get to it. Let's start with the AFC first.
All right.
So coming up, we have the Bills and the Ravens. Who's winning?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say the Ravens. That's a hard
against you.
You gonna say the Bills?
I have to be honest.
Okay.
I think Lamar could do it. That Bills, they just are solid all around, offense and defense.
I feel like the way the Colts started that first half, like they showed me the Bills could be beaten.
Vulnerable.
I'm gonna say the Ravens. I'm gonna say the Titans.
Got me, Ravens. I'm gonna go with my boy. I ain't not vote against him yet, so I switch.
Okay.
The next game. Now the next game is the Browns and the Chiefs. Done. Sabrina,
Done.
You cannot take this long to answer this question.
I know. I don't want to answer it. It's done. The Chiefs.
It's been a great ride. That memorable year. They broke their little their losing streak. They're not appearing streak, however, but they about to run into the young man that's going to send them home.
Yeah. I there's no way I can't pick the Chiefs in this game, and that makes me sad, Browns.
I would say all of y'all tell Sabrina she got to take a week off, and she called this one.
Yeah, this is obvious. Yeah, who cannot pick the Chiefs in this game?
If the Browns win this game, they're going to have two things this year. They're going to have the best game they played I've seen in decades. Was that Ravens and Browns game? And if they upset the Chiefs, this would be the upset of the decade. Coming from not even being in the playoffs for the last 17 years to get into a conference title game. Yeah. It'd be unheard of.
And then hopefully the players that they have in the COVID protocol will be out.
But maybe they need to leave them out. Look how they played without them.
And I will say I like the Browns running backs. They run hard. They run strong and fierce. I like their running backs, Chubb and the other guy. Forgive me for not knowing your name off the top. But the Chiefs are going to win that game.
So let's go to the NFC. We're going to call this the Legends game because you got your boy Breeze and Brady, the Saints and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Who's taking this game?
I'm going to say the Saints.
Me too. Yeah, even though, like we said, the 12th man is non-existent this year, but oh man, Sabrina, now that I'm thinking about it, man, yeah, I'm gonna go with Breeze, but it's a man, best bird. How they say in space, 2 in a possible.
Oh, you funny.
1 in a possible, cause I don't know. Tom, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Saints. But
yeah, I'm a lead. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, but I think the Saints will pull it out.
Yeah, and the next game, the Packers and the Rams.
Yeah, who you taking with that
one? Come on, man.
Yeah. So
the Rams get past them, they deserve to take the whole thing.
Right.
If they get past, they're gonna set Russell down, and if they can set my boy down, they deserve the whole thing. So basically, put me back on the Fire Dan Snyder committee. Because here we go. Not saying that Rivera's not a good coach. Not saying it. But I just think we would have had a longer tenure, some new energy, how well could Sean be conveying to these boys on the defense? They're all young. Mm-hmm. You know, that turnover. I just think that was just the stupidest move. But so I digress. I think the Packers going to do it.
Yeah, I do too. And based off of what we're saying, it was going to be the Packers and the Saints in the NFC championship game, and then the Chiefs and the
Bills.
Thank you. My brain was like, the Chiefs and the Bills and the
No. To me too. We both picked the Ravens. So it's gonna be the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Right.
The Ravens. So
what's wrong with us?
No, it was too early. We both picked the Chiefs and the Ravens. So the Chiefs and the Ravens in the title game of AFC, and the Packers and the Saints, which we already called. Mm-hmm. That's just shaping up the way we wanted to. Anyway.
I said Seahawks, by the way. So.
I did too, but
this is not unexpected if those two make it. Put it like that.
So we're about to bring another episode to a close, but we have to show you. This is Kanita. She was the winner of our Spikes and Heels t-shirt giveaway. She's my best friend of 40 years. We going strong, love her to death, but she doesn't watch football. Kanita, it was an inspiration of me wanting to teach women about football, because for 40 years, I've been fighting with her on Sundays. When we would visit each other after church, she would come over my house and proceed to keep walking past the TV. Walking by, and I had to say, you know what? We're going to have to fight again. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go over her house and I would hear her husband complaining in her, in the background about not being able to watch because she wanted to watch something on Lifetime. Not saying that women shouldn't, but Sunday, I think it should be God and football. That's just my opinion. I told her she got 1 year to pick a team. She can watch, she can learn this year, and then watch next year, and then she got to come up with a team.
So that wraps up another show. I had a good time with you, Gwen.
I had a great time. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
Oh, gosh. Yep. So that's our show for today. Now, our next show is going to be on Wednesday or Thursday, our next Football for Beginners episode. And we're going to continue talking about the playoffs because there's a little more to talk about there and show you where things stand. And we're also going to do our first Q&A session. We've been getting some questions offline from, people that we know, what does this mean and what is that? So we're going to start answering viewer questions on our next show on Wednesday or Thursday, Football for Beginners. So that's it. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Gwen. Have a happy, blessed week. Love somebody. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go. What color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
Who do you admire the most?
Jesus.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And why? Anywhere.
Aruba and Barbados. Barbados because they love plus size women, and Aruba because the liquor and the gambling was cheap.
You just said Jesus. Okay, wait. Okay, so let's moving on. What is one thing that annoys you the most? See, this is what I deal with. She said Jesus, then the liquor and the gambling. Help me, Lord. Please help me to understand this.
That's what you got started on. I can't do this.
Well, I'm putting this right here, just like this.
Sabrina.
I'm putting it right here.
I was joking, Sabrina. Okay.
No, she wasn't joking. No, she wasn't. She said just what she meant. Jesus is her person she admires the most. And then she want to go to Aruba and Barbados because they like the plus size women and the liquor and the gambling. The rapid fire questions will bring out the truth.